I would like to welcome everyone who's here today on behalf of the family and the people that care about Robert. Just thank you for coming to show support and celebrate his life. Before we get going, I'd like to read a little bit of information from Robert's life, and then we'll move forward with the sharing of memories. So we are celebrating Robert Dale Farnsworth, our beloved father, son, brother, grandfather, and great-grandfather. He was born March 10th, 1965 in Bountiful, Utah, and he died July 21st, 2026 in Richfield. His parents were Douglas Farnsworth and Clara Yvonne Inglet Baker, both deceased, and Rita Lee Farnsworth. His children are Robbie Dale Farnsworth, Kirsten Dawn Farnsworth, Keeper Dale Farnsworth, Trapper Dawn Farnsworth, and Stormy Lynn Stanton. He has 5 grandchildren, 1 great-grandchild. His siblings are Barbara and Scott Bronson, Terry and Brian Black, and Deanna Findley. He was preceded in death by his parents, Douglas and Clara, his brother, Dale Reed Farnsworth, a son, Douglas Austin Martin Farnsworth, and grandparents, Reed and Wilma Davis, Dale and Vivian Farnsworth. These services are taking place today, August 8th at 11 o'clock a.m. here in the chapel at the Springer Turner Funeral Home. My name's Michael Taylor from the funeral home, and the family's asked me to conduct. I didn't have the opportunity to know Robert, but I grew up with his son, Robbie, and we spent a lot of time actually playing in this chapel where we're all sitting right now. So I appreciate so much the honor it is to have gotten to care for Robert and to be able to help his family through this time. A family prayer was just offered by Brian Black, a brother-in-law. So moving forward, these services are being recorded, and the family would like to give everyone an opportunity, anyone who would like to come forward and share a memory or a story or something about Robert. Because it's being recorded, these will become memories for the family. No pressure, please don't let that scare you away from coming up. But please, if you have something to share, please be brave and come forward and share that at this time. We'll just take as much time as we need for everyone to get that opportunity. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you guys for being here. I'm very scared now. I'm not used to talking in front of crowds. I didn't prepare a speech because I knew it'd be better just to kind of say what I meant and how I felt. When I've been thinking about my dad a lot lately, it goes back to one of the first memories I have up on the mountain. Him going off, telling me to stay on the bike. He just wants to check over the hill. And then I get scared and I run off the other side. Get clear up there, I'm running faster and faster. I'm scared, I'm panicking, and he finally catches up to me and tells me, we're going to learn the number 1 rule today, and that's don't panic. And that kind of stayed as a lesson for the rest of our lives, something that we shared together consistently forever, whether it's my driver's test or graduating or moving out to college or first day of work. It was always, what's the number 1 lesson? I'd say it back to him, and I had the chance to say that back to him these last year or so. And so when you think like that, of not panicking, then it really kind of goes on the foundation of who my dad is as a person. Of he's not scared of anything. Any task at hand, he acts like it's easy, even if he's never done it before. He thinks he's the best at it. And nothing that I don't think he could do. And I don't think there's anything he didn't think he could do either, because he had that much confidence in himself of never panicking. And that just kind of speaks on who my dad is to me. So thank you guys for being here. Please come share your stories if you have some. I'd love to hear them.
Well, thanks to everyone who came. In my eyes, my dad was the definition of strength. In his later years, he showed me strength isn't how hard you work or how much muscle you had. It's trying to drive without feeling your legs and still fixing your razor when it's hard. My dad did incredibly hard things even when it was supposed to be impossible. My favorite memories with my dad will always be when we went to the grandpa's house. I loved driving and listening to music with my dad. It was on full blast every time. And just listening to his stories and telling what's my own. Even when we were there was always something that he was so sure he was going to win, like pool. I'll never view my dad as he was this last year. To me, he will always be the big, strong man who could do anything. I really do love my dad, and I'm glad that I'll have that with me for the rest of my life. Thank you, guys.
Hi, thank you everyone for coming. You guys did so good talking. I have to read mine because I am a rambler and I will go off subject. Let's see. First of all, I just want to say I am so thankful for my dad. He stepped up to raise me and he didn't have to. You know, he loved me unconditionally. He just always accepted me. And I'm just very thankful for that. Let's see. Sorry, I gotta find it. I gotta jump the gun. Okay. So I wrote this in the little memory book. I don't know if it got accepted. There might have been swear words. It says, Dad, I don't even know where to begin. I guess I'll start with my very first memory of you. You were sitting in your little truck. It was dark and I would think I was raining and it was raining really hard and I was scared. And I remember you saying, hey, your mom tells me you have a favorite song. And at this time, I was probably like 5 or 6. And this is like my very first memory of him and like what have actually like my first memories of like my childhood. And so it really stands out to me. And he says, hey, your mom tells me you have a favorite song. Is it this one? And sure as shit, This Kiss by Faith Hill started playing and Bob was singing it with me. From that moment on, I always knew I was safe with him. I remember I was always trying to tease my mom. I thought I was pretty funny and possibly got a little carried away sometimes. Huh, Mom? I know you're reading that and knowing exactly what I'm talking about. Our family wasn't perfect, but it was real. I remember thinking my parents were going to get divorced, and I told him, you divorce parents, not kids. And he promised me that he would always be my dad, and he kept that promise to me. Sometimes we would argue, which mostly meant tormenting the living hell out of each other. He was an early bird, and I am still not. So bright and early, he would use a megaphone outside my window. I think Bree actually was there at one point when he did that with a megaphone. Like just torture. Outside my window to wake me up. He would take all my dirty clothes and throw them in bed with me, give me wet willies or reverse wet willy. Or simply turn my light on and come back and turn it on again after I turned it off. I remember getting in trouble and being told I had to go to work on the Stucco crew. I would take my pillow and blanket and sleep the whole way there, and then maybe eventually hold the end of a tape measure. I remember my mom saying, why do you even make her go? She just sleeps. And he says, you know what? She gets up and goes. That was you. You taught me that showing up mattered. I remember our daddy-daughter dates, fishing, horn hunting, riding four-wheelers, or sometimes just going for a drive. I remember begging for a sugar glider for years, and then one day I came home and you had gotten me one. It didn't last very long because it was mean and stinky. I remember my purple dune buggy you surprised me with and trying to hide the fact that I had given myself whiplash. You knew, though. Of course you knew. I remember going on my one and only deer hunt with you, Robbie and Grandpa Doug. I cried about shooting the deer, and then I cried because of how bad it smelled. But you weren't even mad at me. You were proud that I even tried. I could literally go on forever. I moved back in with you after my divorce, and I had a turtle. Well, I moved back out, and I left the turtle. And one day you called me and said, Lou-hoo, you need to come get this damn turtle. It stinks. I get to the house, loaded up the aquarium, and didn't even make it through Annabelle before I pulled up to my biological dad's house and bailed out of the Jeep and asked all my brothers, who wants a turtle? Made it sound like a prize. I had to call you and apologize because I thought you were just being dramatic. Little things that remind me of you: turtle shirts, socks with sandals, resulting in the widest feet I've ever seen. He was rocking the Crocs with socks look before it was cool. And Desperate Housewives, only that's not what we called it. Goose, Dove, Daisy, those were our dogs. Farting and blaming me. Tall glasses of milk, botching every song we ever liked. And NASCAR, the carport, the ditch, hiking to Bengo's cave, and spaghetti. Mom, Keith, and I were sitting down for dinner when Dad sighed really loudly, and my mom says, "What's wrong?" And Dad takes a deep breath and says, Rachel, the thing is, I just really hate your spaghetti." And we had spaghetti for at least an entire week. It might have been longer. It was war. I'm rambling now, and I know not all of this will make sense to everyone, but if you know, you know. Those little things are what I'll miss the most: the jokes, the teasing, the ridiculous memories, the lessons, and just knowing you were there. I missed out on a lot of time with my dad, and that will always be hard for me to accept. I know you wanted me to get my act together and stop making choices that landed me where I don't belong, and I am. I wish I had sooner. I really have no excuse. I was raised to know better, but I am so incredibly grateful that you chose to raise me and love me. You didn't have to, and I was and still am a handful. Thank you for loving me anyway. I will cherish our memories, our laughs, our tears, and every lesson you taught me for the rest of my life. Please watch over me and my kids, Dad. I know you'll always be with us in all the little things. You will be so very missed. I love you, Dad. Love always, Lou.
Sorry, when I get nervous, I laugh. All my memories come from hunting. He took me on my first spike hunt. Alan is great. He wakes up, says, first thing in the morning, there's a big bomb going to go off. And they're going to yell, "Cat Gutler," I think he said. Ain't quite what he was saying when the bomb went off. We all got a good laugh that next morning. So we jump up and we jump on these four-wheelers. Like, you're going to ride as fast as you can up here. And there's going to be a whole herd of elk. We're like, all right. Get shooting up there as fast as I can, and the whole crew's already gutting elk on the way up as I'm driving by. I'm like, here I go. I went from one end of this thing, and I shot every single elk that came around. They all were walking around limping pretty good, and everyone's all nervous about it. Because we had Fish and Game came down, like, someone shot a 4-point bull. I was like, a 4-point? That wasn't me, I promise. And everyone thought it was me for sure. Here I come running up to the Fish and Game warden to tell him about my story, and everyone's all nervous. "Robbie, shut up. Don't speak. God, you don't cut up. Shut up." I was like, "Oh, no, I got this." And he says, "No, I watched him. He got off the thing and capped every bullet. He just wasn't a good shot, you know what I mean?" So all my memories, it came from camping. I mean, we had some great camping stories and adventures, and most of these guys in the back were all there. I've seen every one of them got a deer and elk. But yeah, not just where it was. I remember on my big bull hunt with all these guys, we're up there. My dad says, "All right, Robbie, we're going to go up here." I shot like 4 times. I'm not the best shot when it comes, especially on the big bull hunt. I got nervous. Started buckshotting off of it. We're coming off Daniels Canyon, and he's telling me a story about how the biggest state record bear was shot. I was like, all right, we smelled this dead animal on our way up. I was like, "There's a dead animal." He's like, "Yeah, that's by the water." And that's what he told me the story about the bear. Well, we get up there, and I missed my shots, and I'm coming down. He says, "Are we on the right trail?" And I was like, "Well, there's a trail." He's all, "Where's the tacks that are on the trees?" I didn't know there's tacks on the trees. I was looking down at the ground the whole time. So we get walking, and we're walking around there, and we start smelling that animal. He says, "Hey, Robert, give me the gun. I'm a better shot than you are, so you're going to walk out in front, and we'll walk to the camp of the four-wheeler." So I'm walking down the mountain all trembling, thinking, I hope he's a better shot, you know. There's only 2 things he's going to hit, me or the bear. So when we get going down that whole scenario, and we finally find the camper, it took us 4 hours of walking with it, just a circle, I bet you. And we found a candy wrapper and looked over, and our bikes were sitting there. We've just been walking right there around. And I told him, "Well, you should get on your phone and call someone." He's like, "I ain't getting on my phone and calling nobody on my mountain. No one's picking me up or saving me on this mountain." I was like, all right. So we get on the Razor driving back to camp, and he hits a jackrabbit. And I'm telling you, it was a jackrabbit, long legs in the back, and we argued all the way to camp about it. Oh, he cooked it, and we ate it. It was a cottontail in his eyes, I'm telling you. Had the worst gut ache I've ever had in my entire life. But all I can say is he lived a full life. He was a heck of a man, you know what I mean? We didn't always have our good times bad. I went through my rough spells, most people do. For the last 2 years, you got to see me get myself together, and that was amazing to me. And all I can say is that man lived his full life, and me and Cat Keeper and Trapper are going to keep on this hunting legacy. And you know what, Sedell boys, we're going to be there with you, all you boys. You know we're coming on the next year's hunt. So I just wanted to give him a shout out and tell y'all he was an amazing man. Well, I love y'all.
Obviously, I'm here today to defend my spaghetti. It's good. For 30-something years, I have heard comments about my cooking. Anytime one of the kids got sick, what did you feed them? Apparently, it's never going to end. I just want to thank you all for coming. Everybody who loved and cared about Bob. He was a pretty big deal. He gave me the best gift in the world. All those kids you just heard speak. I'm going to forget everything I want to say. There's a few things me and the kids discuss all the time. Like, does anybody here know anybody who's got stuck or stranded more on a mountain than Bob Farnsworth? A few catchphrases that he has too that I will just always hear in my head. We have a brand new one in the garage. It's state of the art. It's badass. This one's specifically for me, I'm sure. Are you out of your crazy mind? Even though we were divorced, we were still really good friends. And I'm really glad that we got to that place. And I'm glad we got to show our kids that we could be that. We have some dang good kids. I'll miss him. One more thing, and the kids know what I'm going to do. Dad, send off. Peace.
Oh, Jerry.
Don't be scared, guys. It's just us. You guys all come up here and break the ice again. My dad instilled incredible confidence in me and my siblings, and I'm so incredibly grateful for that. Like, really, there was nothing we couldn't do, and like our effort was always, acknowledged. Like, he would literally drag me on the Stucco crew, and just be thankful I went with my pillow and blanket. And I'm sure most of you have been on the Stucco crew with him and see me in the back of the truck with a pillow and a freaking blanket. And he was just happy I got up and went, honestly. And so, let's see. I have another memory that I wrote. I have so many. All of my memories come back to my dad, really, my childhood. I had a really happy childhood thanks to that man. Let's see. We went on a skydiving trip. It was our brother Doug's birthday, and we went to Skydive Mesquite. My brothers Doug and Rob, and this was on video also, so there's video proof, and it is not one of my finer moments, honestly, and there's a lot of them, so this is definitely the top one of them. Let's see. We went to Skydive Mesquite. My brothers Doug and Robbie were going to go skydiving. My dad was already certified skydiver, like he's done it, and he's had enough, I guess. I wasn't going to do it with him. I was just there for the ride, and on this day, actually, something incredibly hard happened, and I wasn't aware of it. My family was, my parents were acting really weird, wouldn't let me have the phone, wouldn't let me text, it was just whatever. They're like, this is family time, and it's like, what the heck? Like, everyone else has their phones, everyone else is doing this and that, and it's like, anyway, I was a sophomore. So I had zero intention of jumping out of a perfectly good airplane. Well, Dad had other plans. I swear on everything, Dad blackmailed me. Like he did into jumping. I was only 16 or 17 at the time. And he told me, Luhu, you're going to jump or I'm going to sell your car and pay for your ticket. So obviously I suited up. It was all caught on video. And I even tried to back out while we were in the air. Like in the video, it's like, I look over it and I'm like, no. And anyways, my skydive instructor basically flung us out of the plane. And apparently everyone on the ground could hear me screaming, laughing, and talking the entire way down. I guess you could say I'm loud. The instructor told me, when we land, keep your feet up so you can land on your butt. Well, I saw the ground and thought I probably just touched the ground and like touch feet down, not realizing that we were still going pretty fast. So my instructor and I face planted it. Looking back, it's absolutely hilarious. In the moment, so embarrassing. Like I'm attached to this grown man tumbling and couldn't realize like why I couldn't get up, and it's because I'm attached to somebody. So and of course my dad and Robbie teased me relentlessly, and here's the part that makes me question everyone's judgment. I had to jump after my brothers, and I already knew that all but one of Robbie's parachutes failed. So, all but one. So he's really a miracle. And so, I'm 34 years old now, and I look back and I'm thinking like, and I haven't been on a plane since, and I'm thinking, gosh, did you guys not really like me? Because like, what's up with that? But honestly, I'm so thankful that my dad pushed me completely out of my comfort zone. I would have never chosen to jump out of that plane, like on my own. And because of him, I got to experience something I never would have otherwise. And I got to experience that with two of my brothers. And I will never do it again. Sorry. But I'm thankful for it. And it's, I did it. I can check it off. Most people have that on their bucket list. And thanks to my dad, he let me do it. And so, and I don't care what anyone says. He was not bluffing. He would have sold my Camaro. And he would probably loved it. I wouldn't be sneaking everywhere in my car. Losses caught me sneaking off in my car. And, I just have a lot of good memories with a lot of you here with us today with my dad. And I'm thankful for the friendship you showed him, the love that you always showed us, all the endless support for our family. And it just means a lot to us. And so I really encourage you to get up here and tell your stories. We want to hear them. Don't be scared. Don't make me get up here again. Oh, I'm going along with it. Oh, wait, one second. I will not cut you off because it is true. Keeper. So, my whole life. Okay, no, ever since Keeper was born, it was always like I would be in trouble and I'd be like, and Keeper had a part in it too. I'd be like, well, Keeper, and he goes, Keeper can do no wrong. And you know what? Now that I'm older and I'm grown, he's right. My little brothers can do no wrong in my eyes, like at all. And Robbie, you can't either. My siblings are perfect to me, and they've forgiven me. They always come back. I'm getting my life together now, and I know I have a family. And my dad would tell me that too. I'd call him, and he didn't have a lot of energy at the end, but he would tell me, you have a family down here waiting for you. Like, we love you. Like, we want you to get your shit together. Like, come be with your family, like your brothers love you. Your mom misses you. And also one of the last conversations I had with him on video, my mom went over and was watching a movie with him. And I remember saying, what are you guys doing? And my dad says, God, Sturmy, your timing. We're about to get fresh. And my mom's like, no, we weren't. And it was just so funny, and just my dad's total personality. And he's, just sitting there keeping the story going. And it goes back to my childhood out of us constantly just pestering my mom and constantly everything at her expense. This poor woman, we have put her through it. And but yeah, my dad was an amazing man. So thank you.
I'm Bobby's aunt, and I've known him all my life, of course. But I remember when he was a little kid, and he was this little teeny white-headed kid. He had the white hair, and he used to run around in the yard and cause trouble. And my dad would always get mad at him and call, Bob, quit running around and wrecking my yard. But he's such a special person. And then I remember when he was a teenager, and I'm only 5 years older than him, but I still got to boss him around because I was the aunt. And I remember when he was a teenager and he would come over and he would always want me to buy him beer. Well, I'm not telling you whether I did or not, but anyway, soon after that, he became a dad. And he kind of, I would want to say that he straightened up, but he didn't. I love Bob. And I remember when I was living in Elsinore and I had a 1977 Blazer, and he really wanted this Blazer for parts. And it was an old Blazer. And finally I says, okay, Bob, I'll sell it to you for $1,000. He's like, well, this is wrong and this is wrong with it. I'll give you 500. So I was like, okay, I'll give it to you for 500. Anyway, a couple weeks later, we seen this guy driving it at the Elsinore station. I was like, oh, where'd you get that Blazer? He said, oh, I bought it from Bob for $1,000. And I thought, I kind of laughed, but I thought, you little shit. But that was Bob. He was always willing and dealing, and he knew how to make a buck. And I have to say, well played, Bob. I love you very much, and I'm going to miss you.
Well, I've known Bob a long time. That little blonde-headed kid, as Susan said, man, put us all through it. And as he grew up, and like Robbie said, he loved to hunt. But wherever Bob was, the fishing game wasn't far off either. He would have cow heads in our camp and all things that weren't in season, you know. First time I brought him up here, I think him and Robbie rode up and down the trail for hours before the sun came up. It's like you can't shoot till it gets light. These two drove till they had no fuel. They didn't have warm clothes either. They came from St. George. Robbie probably remembers it. They were froze. But he always killed his animal. Bob was a proficient hunter. He had good hunting skills, but he also led the heat to us. We've had a lot of good times together. He taught me things. He was smart. I will miss him.
Oh, Stucco Bob, I never thought in a million years I would be standing up in your celebration of life. But my name is Sheena Hunt, and I work for Zions Bank. I've helped Bob for many years. One of one of the things that Bob has always, he comes through, cashes a check, you ask him, Bob, how do you want your money? Fast. Don't care? Fast. He was always in a hurry. Everything was always fast. One other thing though, so I was actually divorced, and if you know Bob, then, you know, if you're divorced, then yeah. So a couple times, you know, he might have threw out a couple innuendos but one of them, one day I was helping him into the safe deposit box, and he says, you know, I need a good woman like you to take care of my finances. And I said, Bob, I don't even like to take care of my own finances, let alone somebody else's. He's like, well, you can just take care of me then. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have let that one out. But I said, Bob, I'm a taken woman. I'm dating somebody. Well, who are you dating? Well, I'm dating Casey Hunt. And if anybody knows the Hunt brothers, their beautiful houses are made beautiful by the outside by one person, the majority of them, Stucco Bob, and his amazing stucco work. Keeper, you are doing your dad proud right now. You are an amazing young man. You are going to keep that business going, and you are making him proud. And I am proud of you every time I see you and what you're doing. I just know your dad is grinning from ear to ear. So I just wanted to let you know that. And the rest of you, Bob, you're missed. You will always be missed, but you'll always be remembered. So.
I didn't know I'm doing this, you guys. Too many bad stories. Well, I've known Bob since I was like, I don't know, so big. And there's lots of stories, and he's always been that Bob that, you know, you couldn't kick his ass. You can't. He's tough as it said, over. Okay, you're going to fight him or whatever. But he was one of those guys that everywhere he went, he wanted to have fun. And he was the guy that always wanted to have the this and that. And so we'd always go do it. So he took us on some fabulous Lake Powell trip. And when we went to this Lake Powell trip, I come back from Vegas, and I think my truck was riding a wheelie from all the beer that I got in the back of the truck. It was it was a lot of beer. But so we get this all loaded up, and here's Mike Staggs, and he drinks Milwaukee's best, so he'll bring his own beer. And we looked, and just to get right, the only beer we had left was Milwaukee's best by the time the trip was over, because Mike would drink all our beer. But anyway, so we're out on this lake, and we're catching fish, and we get out there, and we're out there catching fish. Somebody's up on top. We're catching stripers. Okay, so up on top, we got a new knife up there, a nice little fillet knife, electric one. Okay, so there's no room for me to go fish. So I get, next thing you know, you see stripers flying up in there. I couldn't cut them up fast enough. It was just flying right. So finally I told him, you guys get up here and do this. I ain't doing it no more. I really want to tell you some good stories, but I can't. I can't tell them. But anyway, to make a long story short, Bob was a guy that liked to have a lot of fun. And he tried to make everybody have fun, even if it was at your expense. Regardless, the kid, like, we'd go on bike rides, and
I couldn't go any further. Next thing, wham! He hit me in the back of my foot. What'd you do that for? I can't go any further. I mean, you can't go. And he just slammed me in the back of my foot. Break my tail. I come back. I'm looking at him like, what? Oh, yeah, I was just trying to push you up the hill. I said, Bob, you can't push me any further. Well, anyway, that's Bob. Go further as you can go. So, there are other stories I can't tell you. But anyway, I really gonna miss Bob because I worked with Bob too, and the story with Bob was if you fall off the scaffold before you hit the ground, you're fired. So if you get hurt or anything, it's on you. So he's not paying nothing. And I understood that. And then next thing you know, he said, God, I'm packing you around, got to pull you in, I got to pack you around the hose. I said, Bob, shut up, I'm going to throw you off the scaffold. Because I'm not, because I'm the one doing all the work and you're just bitching. And so the stories, those go pretty long deep too. But other than that, I'll miss Bob because he was just, even if you didn't want him there, he was there. So he was a really good person. He'd really help anybody, even though he didn't really like him, he'd still help him. And he'd come up to you and he'd wake you up and be right over your face in the morning. Hey, get up. Get up. And he'd slobber because I didn't know. I'm like, Bob, get out of my face. I called him Chiclet because he had two big old fat front teeth. Kind of like what Dennis the Menace, when he took broke guy's teeth and his teeth fell out. That's kind of like, hey, Bob, get that Chiclets out of your head. But yeah, me and Bob had a really special relationship, and we had a lot of fun together, and had a lot of not so fun together. But I'll always love Bob, and I'll always miss him, and I'll always remember that face. Can't miss it. Thank you, guys.
So last chance, is there anyone else who would like to come forward? All right, so we'll go ahead and conclude our services. For one, we'll have just a brief moment of silence. So if anyone didn't share a memory, that's your time to think about that, to remember Bob. After that moment of silence, we'll listen to a recorded musical number, Higher by Creed. And then we'll have a closing prayer by Brian Black once again. And this will conclude our services. And you're welcome to stay and visit and share for a little while afterwards. But beyond that, thank you again so much for coming and sharing memories and support for Bob and his family.
and time again. That's alright if I still see. I won't leave the comfort of this place. Cause there's a hunger long to escape from the life we live when I'm away. So let's go there. Let's get our sleep. Let's go there. Let's just let's stay. Can you take me higher? So let's get life and see. Can you take me higher? So let's get golden stream. Oh, I like the world change. It helps me to appreciate those nights and those dreams. But my friend, I sacrifice all the nights if I can make the earth and my dreams the same. The only difference is to let love please all of you. So let's go there. Let's get out of sleep. Let's go there. Let's just have a stay. Can you take me higher? So please feel like see. Can you take me higher? So please feel like see. Let's go there. Let's go there. Let's go there. Let's just
And thank you guys all for coming today. Really appreciate to see you. I hope to see a lot of you guys at my house. There's going to be a lunch after this, so I was here to come and eat, and we have plenty of food for you.
My mom didn't cook it either.
Dear Lord, we want to thank Thee for this beautiful day where we were able to come together as friends and family to celebrate and mourn the life of Bob. Lord, we appreciate all the stories and memories, and it'll probably help the family that will get through this grieving time. And please recognize the prayers that are deep within everyone's hearts, and watch over everybody as they drive home to their loving family and find all is well. And we humbly say these things in your Son's name, Jesus Christ. Amen.